Hello, let's do the New York Times Hard Sudoku for April 7th, 2025. I apologize for not having these for the past several days. My computer went kaput and then I was at Sudoku Con, which was very fun. So look forward to some content that I recorded at Sudoku Con, which will be very fun, but I'm not gonna expose my secret yet of what that is. If you were there, then you know. Anyway, this is April 7th, right? So it's almost over, but I figured I'd record it since I'm here doing recordings. So should be daily now, as usual. Also, there was a really interesting talk. I mean, all the talks at SudokuCon were very interesting, but Thomas Snyder was there, from whom Snyder notation was named. And I actually talked to him a bit about notation. And he was saying that Snyder notation, as is kind of defined now within the community, has differed quite a bit from his actual notation style, which is very much a pencil paper style, not kind of a digital notation style. But I have never called my style Snyder notation. I would say it's inspired by an inspiration of an inspiration from Snyder notation, but he had some very interesting things where he talked about how he notates as part of his talk, as well as talking a lot about competition Sudoku in general, the competitions themselves, and how competitors are fast and how they train and all that stuff. So anyway, it was all very interesting stuff. But one of the things he said that I thought, yes, okay, I'm doing the right thing here, is he said, be systematic with your scanning. Don't just randomly jump around. And that is something I have always stressed, especially to new solvers, is just be systematic about it. You can get very fast at being systematic, as Thomas Snyder has. But anyway, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but hopefully the VOD of all of the different SudokuCon lectures will be available to watch in sometime in the future. I'm not sure exactly when or how that'll happen, or if it's behind a paywall, or what exactly that's going to be, but hopefully that will be available for those who want to watch it. I had a panel there where I talked about tools. I actually was there with Sven, who created Sven's Sudoku Pad and continues to maintain it, as well as Sir Zemek, who is the creator of Sudoku Maker, and the three of us talked about Sudoku tooling and stuff like that, and our role in the community. So anyway, a lot of fun at SudokuCon. Hopefully not too many of you are skipping this intro. I know it's very long, but anyway, let's take a look at this puzzle. There is a link in the description, as always, to solve this yourself in Sudoku Pad. And I'm going to get started right now. All right, so I'm going to do box by box as I usually do. I like to go band by band, and I like to start in the box with the fewest givens. And we're just gonna we can see we already have 3 9s here. We do have 2 9s looking down here, so that does put a 9 in one of these two. When we mark this, we want to be looking in this row here. Let me actually check a setting here. I had to again, I had to reinstall everything. I think the large digits is better. I think people want large digits. Anyway, I think my mouse cursor is a little too small too, but I'll adjust that for future videos. Anyway, 9 one of these two. The only reason it's not here is because we have an 8 sitting there. So a nice thing to just really quickly scan is to say, well, where then does 9 go in this row? Because we know it's not in this box or where this given is. This 9 looks down here. This 9 looks down here. But unfortunately, we don't have enough restriction on 9s to do anything with it. Now I'm going to go over to here. We have the 1 8 9. Always suspicious when 3 givens are in a box and they avoid a row or a column. In this case, they avoid both. You want to look in that row or column to see where those digits might end up. So, I mean, we can see that we already have these buddy ones here. We have these buddy ones here that would tell us the same thing. We also have these buddy 8s here. Actually, all of these 8s look in placing this 8. So always good to look at the buddies as well. But the question we might want to ask, or we do want to ask, is where do the 8 1 9 go in this column? Because they don't go here. The 8's already placed. I know it's here, which is unfortunate because that just leaves 1 and 9 to go in these 3 spots. And we do not have just 2 spots for that. So we can't do anything with that yet, but it's something to keep in mind that 1 and 9 are in these 3 places. And this isn't even 1. And then up here, we just don't have, the 9's already placed, the 1's here, but the 8, we don't really have anything. Actually, we do see that these 8s look in and this 8 looks in, so we can actually just place the 8 here. And then this 8 looks up, this 8 looks in, right? So 8's in one of these two. So that takes care of 8, 9 vertically. Actually, we have what I like to call a crossing here. So this 9 near misses the 1 8, and this 9 misses the 1 8. I mean, Just basically, these nines are still removing not, 5 nines from this box, and then we have 2 givens that they don't touch, right? So there's 2 more places that can't be 9. So we're left with 2 places that can be 9, and that is going to cause pointing. So that points in here with this 9, this 9, oops, this 9 looks down, putting a 9 in one of these 2. All right, so 9s, 1s, 8s, I think I've taken care of those. Let's take a look at these. We don't have to look horizontally. Actually, we do kind of want to look horizontally because we want to look for crossings here. We want to look for stuff that might affect here. So just going through each digit, the 1 we already took care of. I'm just going to order the 4s. They do look vertically here, putting a 4 in one of these 3. We do have these 2 5s looking down, which places this 5. I don't see an immediate follow-up on that, although this box is now interesting because this column's filled, but we'll get there. I don't like getting too far ahead of myself. Although, I mean, actually, it's probably good at this point to do it because we have this 1 6 here. 1 and 6 aren't placed in the box yet. And this 1 6 looking down here is telling us that we have a hidden 1 6 pair here. What is a hidden pair? Well, basically what we're saying is I need to place a 1 and a 6 in this box. They aren't placed yet, and they can't go in any of these cells. So we only have 2 cells left that could have the 1 and 6. So those 2 cells must have the 1 and 6, meaning they can't have anything else. So what were the digits that could have been in those 2 cells, but now aren't because they have to be 1 and 6? And they're going to be the 2 digits basically that we have left in the box. So we can just mark that. We have a 2 and a 9 left. I'm just looking to see if it's resolved. It's not. And so if you look, these could have been 2 9 until we realized they had to be 1 6. But first of all, this 2 9 pair does look up. It does remove this 9. Let's place the 9 there. Make sure we follow it properly. These 9s, we already have the 9s marked. Okay. The 2 does not seem to do anything. But what we want to think about is, what does it mean now that these can't be 2 or 9? Well, they already couldn't have been 9 now that we have this 9 placed. But they still can't be 2, and they can't be 2 for an interesting reason, which is the hidden pair. This cell can't be 2. Unfortunately, it doesn't really affect the column. Does it affect its rows? Not in any way, I can tell. Okay, so. But that would be the follow-up on a hidden pair, is to take a look at that. All right, so back up to here, that we did that just by getting this 5 here, I believe. So that was the 5. I don't think there's anything else to do with the 5. The 6. So vertically, we have this 6 looking down, and the 1 6 pair means these aren't 6. And this 6 looks in. So 6 ends up in one of these 2. 1 should be the same, actually. 1 is the same. Yeah, we have this 1 6 looking in, we have this 1 6 looking down, and this 1 6 pair looking up. And so this is another hidden 1 6 pair. Quite nice. Now, what was removed from these 2 cells? Anytime you find a hidden pair, the best way is to tell is just what's left in this column. We do need a 2 and a 3 in the column. And so we want to think about 2s and 3s in these 2 cells and how that might affect the box or their rows. I really don't think it does. Not at the moment. Okay, so coming back up here, that was the 6. Now, we do have something else to do with the 6, which is the 6 is kind of peeking through this 8 9 here, right? So we want to look for a crossing, and we can see we have this 6 here as well. So that puts a 6 in one of these 2, and that points down along with this 6, putting a 6 in one of these 3 cells. All right. So that takes care of the 6 for now, and then the 9s are done horizontally. Vertically, we basically know how the 9s are working out. So the last thing before we move on from this band, any rows, columns, or boxes with 4 or fewer open cells, it's always good just to think about what are those digits and are any worth marking. So we have 2, 3, 7, 8. So the 3 actually looks up through here, putting a 3 in one of these 2. The 3 points in here. This 3 looks up. That actually places this 3 in this box. These 3s look in here, putting a 3 in one of these 3. All right, now that we have all 4 of these filled, always good to check just in the row or the column for any digits that aren't placed yet. So the 3 and the 8 already placed, the 9's already placed, but the 7 does look in, putting a 7 in one of these 2 now, which is going to point in here. This box does not have a 7 yet, so we place the 7 here. Following up on the 7 does put a 7 in one of these 2. Oops, sorry, I missed this. So it actually places the 7 in the box. And now these 7s look in, placing this 7. All right. So we just got a bunch of stuff. This 7 is actually a crossing now in this box. And now what have we done here? We have corner marked the 6 in 2 cells and the 7 in 2 cells. Let's ignore this one for a second because it's not important right now. This is telling us that one of these two needs to be a 6 and one of these two needs to be a 7. Well, if that's the case, one of them's a 6 and one of them's a 7. We have found a hidden pair. So the advantage of these corner marks, being box-based here, is that we now know that we have found a hidden pair in the box. And because of the hidden pair, what does a hidden pair do? Well, it removes anything else we thought could have been in there other than the 6 and 7, meaning this one corner mark is no longer valid. Removing that one corner mark does tell us this has to be a 1. All right, horizontally, 1's already done. Vertically, that places the 1 here, giving us the 6 and 1 over here. Now these ones do look down, putting a 1 in one of these 3. All right, now these 4 did... Oh, we want to finish this triple up here. What's the other digit? Looks like it's a... Oh, 2, 3... Oh, it's 2, 3, 8. All right. So I only saw that this 3 was looking up. That's all there is. So we do that has exposed more low-hanging fruit in here, right? So we have 4 digits left in this box because we already have this 6, 7 accounted for. So we want to think about those. We want 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm seeing this cell can't be 3, 4, or 5. So this is actually just a naked 2. And this ends up being a 3, 4, 5 triple, which is unadulterated, which means this is also going to be a single. Looks like it's also the 2. And then this is 6 or 7, but the 7 tells us the order. That's 6, 7, and 6. Now up here, we have 1, 2, 3. We need 4, 5, and 7. The only thing I'm seeing is this 4 down here. And the 7, I guess. We already have the 7 corner marked, though. All right, I don't need these corner marks anymore. We have the triples filled out. Cool. So this is definitely not going to resolve itself. We're going to have to peek in from the bottom to resolve those. All right, so we are going to move on to the next band here. Yes, if we believe it or not, we've only done the top band and important follow-ups from it. Now, we already have a lot of givens here, so sometimes it's tempting just to switch straight to penciling, but I am going to give a quick glance to our digits just to make sure I'm not missing anything with them. So the 1, 7, 8 are already in this row, so that's not helpful. The ones in the, let's see, we do have 2 8s here, so 8 ends up down here. In fact, it's 2, 3, 4, 8 down here. Does that help at all? I guess these are 2, 4, 8. This isn't 2. Oh, okay. This is a naked 4. So what I was seeing is we have this column here, which just has 2, 4, 8 left. The 1, 6 are down here. And this sees 2 and 8. So this can only be 4. And so that does leave a 2, 8 pair here, which is unresolved. Oh, but I have this 2, 9 pair here. Duh. So it is resolved. That's 8. That's 2, giving us the 8 there. And we get the 3, the 2, and the 3 here. All right. That's not a 3. All right, at this point, I think it's good just to, like, let's take a look at this triple here and this triple here to see if there's anything obvious. We need 3, 4, 5 here. The 3 looking in here does give us this 3, which gives us this 3 as well. That's no longer a 3. And then I need 4, 5 here, which I don't think is resolved, but that means this is our 2 for the row. This is a pair for the row. We need a 6 and 9. Nice. Okay, that 6 gives us the 9 and 6. I think we're just filling out the rest of this puzzle at this point. I need a 4 and a 5 here, which is not resolved. Oh, it is resolved. Oh, the 4 is down there. It was hiding. 5 and 4. That's our 7. That's 5 and 4. Something else rang true with me in Thomas Snyder's talk, which was that sometimes like for the finals of a competition, they'll have you solve the Sudoku on like a giant board. And they're significantly harder to scan. You got to like move your head to scan it. And in order for me to capture these puzzles at the highest resolution possible, I have a big 27-inch monitor and I have it full screened on there. And so I do have to kind of move my head to scan. So sometimes like the very bottom row or like the left or right side, I'll miss if I have to scan across the whole grid. But if you play on a much smaller grid, it does make it much easier to scan. Anyway, I need a 2 and 9 here, it looks like. I don't know why I fat fingered the 5 there. And then here, this pair is 1 and 5. Okay, so this 5 tells us the order. So that is 1 and 5, which gives us the 6 and 1, which gives us this 1. We get our 7 and 6 over here as well, placing the 6 in this box. All right, this 2, 9 pair does place the 9 here, giving us the 2 and 9, 2 and 9. And now we should just be able to plonk the rest of the digits. Here's a 4, that's 5. I need 2 in this box. Okay, that goes here. I need a 3 in the box. That goes here, which gives us our 4, 3, 5, 4. And then down here we need 5 and 7 still. That's 5, that's 7, and we're done. All right, cool. Yeah, 12, 14, not too bad. I feel like I spent a little extra time explaining today. I think this puzzle wasn't too difficult today. I think maybe one of the key steps, I don't know, I did it early enough that it's hard to tell. We're finding both of these hidden 1-6 pairs. That seemed really nice. And then getting this 2-9 pair, which actually I used later in the solve to resolve the 2 in this box, was also quite nice. So, but yeah, focusing on the top band here, we got a ton of information, and then the puzzle just kind of collapsed from there. I didn't even get to scan my bottom band properly, or even the middle band properly. But that's okay. The puzzle solved. All right. Well, let me know how you did. If you enjoyed this, why not leave a like, subscribe, and a kind comment below.